So okay, today just got a new book with someone share on the internet, and then it's about the effective engineer. So I'm going to read just one page, and then I'm gonna share on comment. So that's what we're going to practice English by reading today. I will try to listen myself and see how my mouth moving, and then try to read as Khalid speaking. I will try. That's what I do practice on my own. Okay, so the book is The Effective Engineer: How to Leverage Your Efforts in Software Engineering to Make disproportionate. That is a new word for me. Disproportionate. I would say I don't know what this means. And disproportionate. So I'm very curious what does mean. So let's search on. It's spelled like DISPROPORTIONATA. And okay, it means ไม่สมส่วน so let me listen what is read. Disproportionate. Disproportionate, or it say disproportionate. Okay, it's disproportionate. How to leverage your efforts in software engineer to make disproportionate and meaningful effects. Written by Edmond Laws, forward by Rich Tyler, CEO of Kim and Pharmaceutical of Facebook. Okay, the effective engineer. Okay, so move on to the first chapter. It says, to my parents who hard work and sacrifice makes my opportunities possible. Okay, this is a table of contents. The table of contents is means สารบัญนะคะ table of contents. Okay, so there are three parts. From what I see, there are 3 parts, and then each part have 3 chapters. Okay, the part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 have 3 chapters. Part 2 have 4 chapters, and part 3 have 1. There are epilogue, appendix, acknowledgement, and notes, and about the others. So first we're going to read forward's introduction, and then I can introduce the part 1 later. Okay, more of forward. My first job out of Stanford's computer science programs was as a product manager at Google. Okay, that's his first job. Okay, it was an amazing first job. I share office with engineer who had written a textbooks I used in college. I helped create Google Maps. Wow, very interesting. Which is still my products achievements as a product designer and engineer, and I learned how to be effective to large-scale software projects. By the time I left Google, I started my first company, FriendFeed. I had worked on so many projects at scale. I felt extremely confident I could start one myself. However, being a product manager at a large company is different than funding a startup. For one, you are judged differently. While in territories products, large companies also judge product manager as their ability to manage all the people and department that have a stakes in the product's outcome. Did you engage the PR team enough time before lunch? Did you integrate your products with the CEO's projects? Did you convince the competition's execute of your product's direction before the big execution review? As software companies that aren't had endings tense as Google product manager are judged more on these political issues than they are on any aspects of the products they work on. That's why so many engineers and product managers that come out of the large of companies have troubles with the concept of leverage. That's Edmund Laws talks about the effective engineer. They are effectively trained to care about how leverage activities because the brokers that train them value and reward them. The most successful engineer I have worked with in my career were a few that were able to see part these bureaucratics. A lot of words, it's just so hard to pronounce. Idiosyncrasies that's reorganized, that's one or two things that would really impact their product success. The engineer that taught me the most about leverage is, without question, Paul Buntis. Paul was one of the co-founder of FanFit that he previously created Gmail, and while he hasn't worked together much at Google, we have enough mutual respect to join forces with them. Norris and Sanjay said that is the name to start a company together in mid-2007. More than my person I have ever met, Paul was willing to challenge conventional thinking, and he completely changed my perspectives on engineering and product management. However, we was in culture challenges, technical problem. I was asked, how should we do this? Paul was respond often of doctrinalist. Why do we need to do this is all? Instead of trying to solve impossible problem, he was more often challenge the assumption so we could simply work around them. At times, it most seemed like Paul was lazy give any sufficiently hard project. Paul would question the purpose of the project, but he was almost always right, unless the project was destined to make or break out nonsense company. Why spend our precious engineering resource on this? Working with Paul proved to me thought experience that engineering was much more about leverage than programming ability, and I have tried to apply that lesson to all my subsequent jobs. When I become a chief technology officer of Facebook after the company acquires FaceFriends, I spend as much time canceling projects as creating them. As the company I founded, the Kevin Gave in 2012, we felt so strong that effective engineer was not correlated with hours of effort that we have proudly embraced a 9 to 5 Chris Andrews and Silicon Valley's company. I love the culture of Silicon Valley. I love that young engineers have as much of an impact on our industry as veterans, and I love how our industry redefines itself every decade. But I also think the culture of working endless hours is unnecessary, and abused by ineffective managers around our industry. In addition to being unnecessary, that aspect of our culture is one of the main things that prevents people from choosing long-term career in software engineering. It is unsustainable for people with families, and it is creates homogeneous immigrators. Oh, that's a lot of words. It's so hard. As simple as at the companies where is a big questions. I'm happy close to write this book because I think Silicon Valley would be much better place for both manager and engineer of if people embrace working smart rather than working hard. Is either a country necessitative or hard to practice, but very few people do it, and I hope more people embrace specific and techniques to make their companies and career more successful. Okay. So this is the next one. Okay, I will try to read one. Okay, this is the first chapter. Focus. They say the past one, adopt the right mindset. So it means one, focus on high leverage activities. Second, optimize for learning. And the third one is priorities regularly. So I will read later. That's long. So